the WBC shouldn't have sanctioned this fight. This is something that Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be allowed to do, but he's doing it. They're probably going to make a lot of money off of it. It's going to be a business success, but the fight is trash, right?
What's happened before the pandemic?
Manny's going to fight Tank after that.
How would they fight? Tank for 135 pounds.
Catch weight, 43, 44. Yeah.
Stated that one of Manny Pacquiao's dream fights is to fight GervontaDavis.
Boxing veterans are sounding the alarm over Manny Pacquiao's decision to face GervontaDavis, calling it a dangerous mismatch that could end with Manny in a hospital bed. Critics argue the WBC should never have greenlit this bout, especially considering Pacquiao's age and Tank's devastating punching power. Still, the fight seems to be moving forward, driven by one major factor: money. First, Manny must get past Mario Barrios, but experts warn even that challenge could leave him drained. Facing Tank soon after, without time for full recovery, seems reckless. Many insiders agree. This back-to-back plan prioritizes profit over safety.
Anyway, in Tank Davis, first let's start with Manny and Tank. That fight's even more trash than this one because Tank Davis is a way better fighter than Mario Barrios, bro. Tank Davis would send Manny Pacquiao to the hospital, bro. I don't want Tank Davis to entertain, excuse me, y'all, a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Just like I'm glad he ain't entertained no damn fight with Jake Paul, bro. That's not a good look. So Manny can call it out all day. I'm sure PBC would love to make that fight. Tank Davis, if you and your team watching this video, bro, anybody that's rocking with Tank watching this video, that's beneath you, bro. That man's 72 years old, bro. He about to get hands put on him by Mario Barrios anyway, in my opinion, so I don't think it matters. But even if he was to somehow win and defeat Mario Barrios, I would not want to see Tank Davis take on no damn Manny Pacquiao, bro. That shit would be all wrong and all bad. I see what my son doing with my dog, my other dog back there, giving him a hard time. Giving him a hard time. So there's that part of it, right? Nobody trying to check for that fight.
Legendary trainer Robert Garcia has voiced serious concern about Manny Pacquiao's upcoming plans. He predicts that if Pacquiao ever steps into the ring with GervontaDavis, it won't end well for the Filipino icon. Garcia sees the matchup as to risky Tank's youth and power make it a one-sided threat. His hope is that Pacquiao will hang up the gloves after fighting Mario Barrios, rather than pushing forward against younger, more dangerous foes. Garcia's caution reflects a growing consensus in the boxing world. Pacquiao's prime is behind him, and continuing may carry real physical danger.
Manny's used to fighting bigger guys his entire career, but this time he's 46.
46, bro.
It's dangerous.
Can't help it, but wish him well, man. You know, he's a great person. Hopefully we see something competitive. You know, I would say become champ. If he wins, become champion, retire, man. I wouldn't want to see him unify or anything like that because it could be ugly. I'd say if he wins this one, retire as champion.
Despite these mounting warnings from trainers and analysts, Manny Pacquiao has made his intentions clear. He wants to fight GervontaDavis. After his scheduled bout with Mario Barrios, Manny has shown nothing but excitement at the idea of clashing with Tank. For him, this is more than just a fight, it's a personal mission. Pacquiao sees Davis as a worthy, high-profile opponent and is determined to test himself against one of today's top fighters. His drive speaks to his warrior spirit and keeps the boxing world buzzing over whether this dream matchup will actually take place.
It's the Boxing Coop. Reality alert. Like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get it popping. Shine Gibbons, president and promoter of MP Promotions, Manny Pacquiao Promotions, has came out and stated that one of Manny Pacquiao's dream fights is to fight GervontaDavis. Now, he said after the fight with Mario Barrios, and if Gervonta get past Lamont Roach, and if somehow the Jake Paul fight don't come into fruition, Manny Pacquiao will be looking to land the fight with GervontaDavis. And it will be a big fight for both of them because, as we all know, Gervonta Tank Davis sells and Manny Pacquiao sells. And Manny Pacquiao always been wanting to fight, and hey, it'll be a legacy fight for Gervonta Davis. But we'll see how it go. But it's the Boxing Coop. Reality alert. Like, share, and subscribe.
The idea of Pacquiao versus Davis has floated around for years, sparking endless debate among fans and pundits. Analysts note that Pacquiao has repeatedly called out Davis in public, but so far, Tank has never agreed to make it happen. Still, Pacquiao remains determined. Many see him as the one pushing hardest to turn talk into action. This unresolved tension has only added fuel to the fire, with observers split on whether Davis is dodging the challenge or simply showing respect for the legacy of a boxing legend. Either way, the narrative keeps building.
Boxing doctor news Manny Pacquiao, the 46-year-old Filipino legend, is set to challenge WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios. But that's not all. Pacquiao is eyeing a potential showdown with lightweight sensation GervontaDavis, a matchup that has been brewing for years. With Pacquiao aiming to become the oldest welterweight champ and Davis coming off a controversial draw, this could be a fight for the ages. Will the aging legend prove he's still got it, or will youth prevail? The boxing world is in for a treat.
Pacquiao's unrelenting pursuit has kept fans hopeful that this long-awaited showdown might still happen. At its core, the potential bout between Manny and Davis is being treated by promoters as a golden business opportunity. Both fighters are box office draws capable of selling out arenas and racking up huge pay-per-view numbers. While fans argue over who would win, the money at stake keeps the fight alive. In truth, the financial allure may be stronger than the sporting merit driving discussions, media attention, and promotional energy around a matchup rooted as much in dollars as in competition.
Something like a pro wrestler to an extent. You ain't gonna get the fights you want with this dude. You gonna get him fighting Mexicans and gimmick fights like this. Now the sad part in all this is, in my opinion, is this fight is crazy enough to happen. It's gonna make a lot of money. It's gonna do good sales. But not only is it box office and big business, in my opinion, if promoted right. Looking at this motherfucker's resume, this is probably his toughest fight. In my opinion, a 45-year-old Pacquiao will be the closest thing to a 50-50 fight Tank's been in. And that's sad, that's fucked up, but it's the absolute truth. This is the closest thing he's been into a 50-50 fight, a 45-year-old Pacquiao. Me personally, I don't know what Pac-Man has left in the tank for me to say that this is going to be competitive. So I think Tank is probably going to wash him, just going off age. When it comes to age, speed and reflexes are the first thing to go. Explosiveness are the first things to go. So off youth and explosiveness alone, Tank should be able to beat the old man. But the fact that this is even up for debate is sad, man. Like I said, stop looking at Tank as a star as a regular fighter. Look at him as an attraction. When he fights, expect to see the bitches come out. Expect your casual friends to hit you up, talking about parties and let's go out to a bar and watch it and just enjoy the festivities. You want to see the best fighting the best, you ain't gonna get it with Tank. Like, and that's, I understand your logic, how he'll knock Pacquiao out and get his fans. That shit ain't true.
Plenty of boxing insiders are slamming the proposed fight between Pacquiao and Davis, calling it a lopsided and even irresponsible mismatch. With Pacquiao far removed from his prime, many argue it's unfair to pit him against Tank's youth, strength, and speed. If Manny falls short against Barrios first, some believe the smarter matchup would be Barrios versus Davis. Barrios, being younger and more active, may pose a stiffer challenge for Tank, making for a more competitive and meaningful fight. This alternative is gaining traction as a more balanced and deserving bout.
Manny Pacquiao is negotiating with Barrios to fight at 147. No tears. I haven't heard one tear. So guess what? Since we know that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao has been in serious negotiations, let me ask you, is it a good fight? Mario Barrios versus Tank Davis at 147. Yes, it is. That fight was a struggle. And if Mario Barrios wasn't weight drained with the rehydration clause at 140, think about 147, Tank going up from 135 to 147. Yeah, y'all, no, shoe program. Because Mario Barrios was winning every round leading up right before he got knocked down. You fight Mario Barrios at 147, it may be a different story. I'm not saying that Mario Barrios wins. I'm saying that Mario Barrios is more comfortable at 147, way bigger than Gervonta Tank Davis. What is he, 5'10", 5'11"? All right, Gervonta Tank Davis never only fought at 140 once, never fought at 147. Move up from 135 to 147. Y'all know it's a tough fight.
In terms of style, a fight between Pacquiao and Davis would present a classic contrast, one that could thrill fans if it ever comes to life. Pacquiao brings relentless pressure, unleashing fast combinations and overwhelming volume. In contrast, Tank Davis is a patient destroyer, known for his explosive one-punch knockout power. This stylistic clash speed and aggression versus timing and force adds intrigue to the hypothetical fight. It's the kind of matchup that creates unpredictability, as both men possess tools that could end the bout dramatically in very different ways.
One of the most explosive lightweights of our time, Gervonta Tank Davis, against one of the most feared and ferocious explosive lightweights in history, Manny Pacquiao. Both men are southpaws and use genius traps to get their opponents to drop their guard and set up hard punches that end the night. While Manny Pacquiao was more of a volume puncher, we all know Gervonta Tank Davis was a one-punch knockout artist. Manny Pacquiao also had to chop trees down because he went up in weight throughout his career. Gervonta now is still at what looks like is his natural weight, so he's still able to use that power. Both men used amazing angles. Both men also used amazing momentum punches, meaning they would wait to the last second and then step in and catch the opponent coming at them, and it'd be like a high-speed collision. Tank Davis was great at creating openings to land that one-punch eraser, while Pacquiao created openings in a different way. He would do it by throwing lots of punches and really throwing variations from head to body, but the result would be the same. Both men would stop or knock out their opponents. If prime Pacquiao fought prime Tank Davis at 135 or 140, who wins? Tell me in the comments.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya, former world champion and respected boxing figure, has publicly voiced his concern over Manny Pacquiao's return at age 46. He emphasizes that competing at the highest level requires intense physical and mental preparation, something that becomes much harder with age, recovery slows, risks of injury rise, and wear on the body intensifies. According to De La Hoya, Manny should focus on rest and health instead of another brutal training camp. This perspective has resonated with fans and experts who worry about Pacquiao's well-being more than his legacy.
You're 46 years old. You have to remember that. So give your body some rest. Rest right now is Manny Pacquiao's friend in between training, in between sparring sessions. There's no shame in taking a day off or two, Manny. Trust me. Let your body relax, let your body rest. He'll do fine. He's experienced, he's got obviously the power, because it never leaves you. The speed I'm a little worried about, but I think, look, Barrios is a live dog. He's a world champion, and he's no slouch. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I wish Manny all the best. I'm not sure who's going to win. I really haven't seen Barrios, but I think Barrios, the youth is obviously, with him in his corner.
Rising star Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez has shared a blunt take on Manny Pacquiao's upcoming fight with Mario Barrios. While he respects Manny's legendary career, Rodriguez believes Barrios holds a clear advantage due to his youth and activity level. He argues that the younger fighter's hunger, stamina, and prime condition make him the heavy favorite. This reflects a wider reality in boxing today. Legacy and experience, though important, often crumble against the sheer physicality and momentum of the sport's next generation. The edge in Rodriguez's eyes lies firmly with Barrios.
I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that youth. He has a youth, and Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. That's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back. So just to have him in the ring, and fighters at that age are not competing.
I think that just says a lot about the the type of fighter Manny Pacquiao is, the stardom he has. I mean, he's what, 46, 47?
He's 46.
And people are still excited to see him fight. So, I mean, that just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao is just going to be pretty cool. And in the same night. So, it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
Manny Pacquiao's age presents a critical disadvantage in both the Barrios and potential Davis fights. Against Barrios in particular, Manny faces a fighter with clear physical advantages: age, height, and reach among them. At just 28, Barrios is sharper, faster, and more active than the veteran icon. His longer reach could allow him to control the distance and pace of the fight, exploiting gaps in Pacquiao's defense. These attributes combine to make the road ahead especially challenging. For Manny, who'll need more than just experience to overcome the odds.
So breaking news, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios is official for July 19th in Las Vegas for Barrios' WBC welterweight title. After 4 years off from pro boxing, Pacquiao will try to become the oldest active world champion in boxing at 46 years old and one of the oldest champions in boxing history. Now, this fight has been rumored for quite a while. They tried to make it last year after Pacquiao had an exhibition with Rukia Anpo, but they were never able to finalize a deal. But earlier this year, they re-entered negotiations and they finally made it official now. Now, in terms of the fight itself, Barrios, he's going to have a huge age and size advantage. You know, the guy is 29 years old, right in his physical prime. He's probably going to weigh around 160, 165 pounds on the night of the fight. Whereas Pacquiao, like I said, he's 46 years old. He won't weigh over 145 pounds on the night of the fight. And Barrios, he's just going to try to stay behind the jab and the straight shots and use that youth to win in the fight. Now, what I will give Pacquiao is he does have a huge IQ advantage. And Barrios' defense didn't look that great in his last fight. But still, the age is the main factor. But you guys let me know. Are you excited for Manny's return, or is it too risky at his age?
Many experts are growing deeply concerned about the risks Pacquiao faces in his comeback, particularly after 5 years out of the ring. At 46, returning to such a brutal sport carries enormous health hazards boxing's punishing nature has taken down even the most seasoned legends, and history is full of cautionary tales of older fighters who suffered serious or permanent damage after returning past their prime. These fears are fueling calls for caution, with analysts urging close medical monitoring and safety-first decision-making before Manny steps back into a professional ring.
Because what's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary. Yeah. Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say disappointed.
The controversy around the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight doesn't stop at Manny. Some critics are also questioning Mario Barrios' decision to take on a fighter many view as well past his prime. They argue that this isn't about fair competition, but rather a calculated move to boost Barrios' profile by beating a legendary name without having to face a top-tier contender from today's active roster. The perception is that Barrios is chasing exposure over challenge viewpoint that's sparked debate within the boxing community about the integrity of the matchup.
Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao are in talks for the WBC welterweight title fight. They want to do it in Vegas. Pacquiao is 45 and hasn't competed since August 2021 in a decision loss. Mario Barrios is definitely trying to stat pad at this point. In a stacked welterweight division, you can fight Crawford. If you don't want to fight someone who's coming off a W, fight Spence Jr. Go fight Jaron or Stanius, Fight one of the top 4 fighters. You're ranked top 5 and you want to fight Manny Pacquiao. That's stat padding. That shouldn't even count as a win. And I love Manny Pacquiao, but I mean, in his prime, he would definitely beat Mario Barrios, but it's past his prime. Hasn't fought in 3 years, is 45 years old. It's time to hang it up, bud. I will say, though, if he somehow miracle pulls it off, it'll be the greatest win, I think, in my opinion.
As the fight date approaches, debates are growing more heated and more serious. The conversation isn't just about whether Manny might lose. Experts are deeply worried about the physical risks especially the chance of a brutal knockout or lasting injury. Some question the judgment of the organizations that approved these fights, accusing them of ignoring the dangers of putting an aging legend against younger, faster opponents. Calls are rising for tighter rules and better oversight to protect fighters and preserve boxing's credibility. For many, safety must come before spectacle.
So Manny Pacquiao is going to get knocked out by Mario Barrios. And I get it, like, Mario Barrios is, like, far from a good fighter. Mario Barrios is one of the worst champions in all of boxing, but Manny Pacquiao is so old, bro. I think a lot of you guys forget Manny Pacquiao fought last year, and he arguably lost to, like, a Muay Thai kickboxer dude. Like, this dude wasn't even a boxer. Yes, he was really big, but the dude was just not a boxer. Honestly, I think the WBC should call this fight off. I think it's not too late to kind of go back on your word and let's call this one off. This fight should not be sanctioned by anybody. This fight should not be allowed. At least Mario Barrios should be stripped of his WBC title for defending it against a 46-year-old. Is there a slim chance Manny Pacquiao is able to outmaneuver him and maybe outpoint him, punch, around him? Yeah, maybe. But realistically, it won't happen. But if he does, I think it will solidify him as the greatest boxer of all time. No questions about it. I think if he does win this fight, it would put him clearly over Ali, Ray Robinson, Ray Leonard, and Floyd Mayweather. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on how y'all feel about this fight.